You know, there's plenty of instances where misandry is blatant and in your face and indisputable. But I wanted to kind of talk about the more subtle forms of misandry that we see in TV and especially in commercials and all that. I saw a Dell commercial the other day, and the Dell commercial was basically about a teacher talking about how her typical day goes as an educator. And you know, and it was only a small little part, I think like a 10-second clip of the entire commercial, which was only, I think, like 2 minutes long altogether. And I'm going to put a link to it in the description box. But yeah, it was a Dell commercial, and the teacher was talking about how, and it was a female teacher, she was talking about how her basic day consists of helping her students. And when she was talking about helping her students, she said something to the effect of, you know, I have to reach Peter, who's 2 chapters behind, or and then I have to reach Julie. I don't even remember the girl's name that she used. I have to reach Julie, who's 6 chapters ahead. And then you see her approaching a little girl, you know, and giving her assistance. And then the camera starts to pan away with a boy in the foreground, and she completely passes by him after, you know, assisting the little girl with some kind of problem that she was having. And then it continues on to the commercial. And this is how companies are now advertising education, as boys lagging behind and as girls kind of excelling and more deserving of help. And I just want to play the clip for you so that you see what I'm talking about. It's subtle, it's hidden, but it's there. And I'm gonna apologize for the quality of it. You know, you might not even be able to really hear it that well, but you know, just try to make it out as best you can. And if the quality of me playing this video right now isn't good enough, I also link to the commercial in the description box, like I said before.
You need to reach Peter, who's falling behind, and push Janet, who's 6 chapters ahead.
With interactive learning solutions from Dell.
So yeah, once again, you saw that she was talking about how the little girl's excelling, 6 chapters ahead, so on and so forth. Then you see her going to help the little girl and ignoring the boy. And this is what I call soft violence, indirect violence, passive violence that women specialize in and feminism perpetuates, and that the state is all too happy to finance and implement into our school systems especially. And you know, I'm really not making that many more videos these days because I think that all the information that one needs to avoid misandry and the pitfalls of our society in terms of gender relations and gender warfare is out there on my channel and on many other people's channels and on sites like A Voice for Men. But you know, I think it's important that we recognize the little subtle details, and this is the type of indoctrination and violence that women specialize in. And don't get me wrong, women can be incredibly violent, physically violent, as we saw with the video from Sharon Osbourne talking about how wonderful it was for a wife to castrate her husband and so on and so forth. You know, they can be just as violent and oftentimes exceedingly violent, even more so than men. But they also specialize in this soft, indirect violence that targets young men and boys in a way that gives them plausible deniability. These advertisers, the Dell Corporation, is basically just giving females a reflection of what they're already thinking. It's catering to their superiority complex, since we have reformatted the education system to stroke feminine egos. I just think it's something that we should all take note of and remember, that not all violence comes in the form of physical violence. Indoctrination is a form of violence because it takes away the will of a human being. You know, I think it's very important that we remember that this is a war against men and more specifically against boys. I mean, men definitely take the brunt of the results of feminism, but the targets of feminism have always been younger males. Because if they can shape their views on society and emasculate them before they even know it's happening, then half of their job is already done. So I really gotta say for now,